What is up, Breaking Bad fans? Kino here, and we have finally arrived at the Season 1 finale of Breaking Bad, a no rough stuff type deal. To celebrate this momentous occasion, I've decided that from now on, I'm going to be wearing a pork pie hat while doing these reviews. The hat, of course, appears for the first time in this episode and would become iconic of the series. And, I'll remind you, it's not cringe if it's for a bit. But as always, I like to take a moment during these season finales to thank you all for continuing to watch the videos. I know that many of you started watching because of the Sopranos content I've been doing, and while I'm definitely not done with the Sopranos, it means so much to me that many of you have continued to watch the videos as I expand to cover other types of content. Things like Breaking Bad, The Wire, my streams. It just means so much to me that you guys continue to watch the videos, and I hope you'll continue to enjoy the content for a long time to come. And as always, I like to take one moment during the season finale to be selfish and plug my stuff. I never ask you guys to subscribe, like, comment, any of that. I think you should only do it if you really want to. But if you're in the mood to do so, just know that it really helps the channel to like and comment. It helps the algorithm share it to more people, and I'd be very appreciative if you did so. As always, you can follow me on Twitter for any updates. You can join the Discord to talk with other fans and talk about, the shows that I review. If you feel like supporting me on Patreon, you can do so. It's linked in the description, and there are benefits that come with that. If you're interested in getting your own Pure Kino merchandise, like the hoodie I'm wearing right now, you can check out my Teespring account. I've got some new designs on there that I commissioned. I've got Tony Soprano, Omar Little from The Wire, and of course our very own Heisenberg here. So if you're interested in acquiring any shirts, hoodies, anything like that, go check it out on Teespring. But regardless, that's enough talking about my bullshit. Let's jump into the episode review. This is a no rough stuff type deal. The episode opens with Walt and Skyler attending a PTA meeting. The parents are complaining about the theft of the lab equipment and the overall drug situation in the school. Walt, however, is turned on by the fact that he caused all of this and the fact that no one knows it. He starts feeling up Skyler under the table, which turns her on as well. Later in the parking lot, they end up having sex in the car right next to a police vehicle. Walt says that it's hot because it's illegal, showing his growing appetite for breaking the law. Later, Walt shows up at Jesse's house. There's a realtor there showing the house to potential buyers, as Jesse has decided to sell the place because of the murders that happened there. Also, we get a funny detail of Jesse saying that Walter looks like Lex Luthor. Bryan Cranston was considered for the role of Lex Luthor in Batman vs. Superman, and I think he would have been really good in that role. Walt then gives Jesse his share of the money from Tuco and tells him about the deal to give them £2 next week. Jesse is of course upset that Walt made a deal with Tuco without consulting him, especially considering what Tuco did to him. He also says that there's no way they can get enough pseudo in order to make £2 a week. Pseudo is a chemical found in cough medicine, and its purchase is highly regulated and controlled. Later, Walt and Jesse meet with Tuco in a junkyard. Jesse says that they should have met somewhere public in case Tuco decides to kill them. Walt clearly has a lot to learn about the criminal business. Tuco arrives, and Walt only has half a pound of meth to sell to him. Tuco is pissed off at having his time wasted. However, Walt demands the full amount of money anyway, and offers to make him £4 next week. Tuco ends up giving him the money as a loan, but warns him of the consequences if he fails again. Back at the house, Jesse says there's no way they can get enough pseudo to make £4. However, Walt reveals that he has a way to cook meth without pseudo. He tasks Jesse with getting the supplies they'll need, but Jesse wants to just skip town. Walt ends up giving him a pep talk about his potential, again showing the pseudo father and son relationship that they kind of have. Later, the White family has a baby shower for Skyler and the unborn Holly. Junior records a video of the whole thing, including recording a woman's breast, which is a little bit weird when you think about it, especially considering the fact that his family's probably going to watch this later and wonder what the hell he was doing. He also records Walt talking to Holly about their family and her future. And I guarantee that if they ever do that spin-off about Holly that gets floated around Reddit sometimes, this will be the first scene of that new series. All the guests then give the gifts they brought for the baby. Marie ends up giving her a jeweled tiara, which Skylar thinks is way too extravagant and not worth the money. During all of this, Hank and Walt slip out to the back. Hank lights up a cigar, and Walt ends up smoking one as well. The cigars are Cuban, which Walt notes is illegal because of the Cuban embargo at this time. They then have a discussion about how laws change, and things like meth were once legal. That night, Skylar says she's going to return a tiara and spend the money on something they actually need. Walt then shows her a sweat lodge that he wants to attend over the weekend. This is of course, however, just an excuse so he can go cook meth with Jesse. However, while Jesse was able to find most of the supplies, he wasn't able to find methylamine, a key precursor ingredient that they need for this new method. Methylamine in this world is a highly restricted substance, and the only way they can get it is if they hire a crew of thieves to steal it for them. Walt, however, suggested they steal it themselves using thermite, a highly combustible explosive. It should be noted that in this show, a lot of the conflict is based around the need to get methylamine. However, in real life, methylamine would be easy for Walt to synthesize. The writers wrote it as this difficult substance to acquire in order to build conflict and present scenes like what we're going to see. It's not a big deal, but again, shows the slight scientific inconsistencies we have to accept as part of the series. Skylar then goes to return the tiara to the store Marie got it from. However, she's arrested when she does, as the tiara was actually stolen. Skylar is able to talk her way out by pretending to go into labor. And we see that Skylar is actually a great liar. In fact, the very first lie in the series is actually from Skylar. After this, she goes to confront Marie about the shoplifting, but Marie refuses to admit anything. That night, Walt and Jesse break into the chemical warehouse. When the guard goes to the bathroom, they tie the porta potty shut with rope. They then use the thermite to burn through the lock on the door. This sets off the alarm, but the guard is locked inside and unable to get out. However, Walt and Jesse realize that there are no small containers of methylamine, and they're instead forced to steal a very heavy barrel, which they slowly carry out of the facility. They then try to head out to the desert to cook, but the RV breaks down. With no other choice, they cook in Jesse's basement. However, they don't realize that the realtor has scheduled an open house for that very day, and Jesse is forced to guard the door while Walt cooks meth right under people's feet. That night, Walt returns home from his fake trip. Skylar tells him about the situation with Marie, and Walt ends up asking her what she would do if it was him that did something illegal. He's of course testing the waters to see how she would feel about the whole meth situation. She warns him that he does not want to find out. The next day, Walt and Jesse meet with Tuco in the junkyard again. They present the meth, which is blue due to the methylamine. This will of course become Walt's signature product. Tuco, however, is still happy with the product and gives them the money. However, when one of his underlings talks out of turn, Tuco beats him unconscious. As the episode ends, Walt and Jesse are left horrified as they realize the truly dangerous lunatic they have agreed to work for. The title of this episode comes from the movie Fargo, and also refers to a criminal plan which ends up going horribly wrong, just like in the show. This was not originally supposed to be the final episode of Season 1. There were originally supposed to be 2 more episodes after this, but the Writers Guild strike of 2007 forced production of new episodes to stop. Vince Gilligan has stated this was actually a good thing for the show. Originally, he was planning on doing something dramatic in the season finale in order to get attention, such as killing Hank and even Jesse off for a time. However, the strike stopped this from happening, and in subsequent seasons, Vince was able to focus much more on character-driven storytelling. So, while many shows died during the writer's strike, Breaking Bad ended up flourishing because of it. And that is pretty much the episode. Thank you guys so much for watching these videos, and stay tuned for the next season of Breaking Bad, coming soon. Yeah, Mr. White. Kino. Tommy Smith, Abdallah Alamari, Russell, Sean, Heart of Markness, Broccoli, Logan, Clean, John Reyna, Jesse Sterling, Andrew Stewart, Obs Racing Media, Daz J. Kit, Conan Higgins, Irish Nachos, Sam Cedarlin, Don Lucania, Celery Man, and Jenna Marie Johnson.